Hey guys, Jim Bounds at Motorhome Rehab Ranch. I've been talking a lot about wiring, and I've never met a wire I didn't like. They probably came from the years of playing with stereos and being working at Lafayette Radio and that kind of stuff. Never met a wire I didn't like. Our GMC has what I would call a little bit of a wire wad up front. Take a look. Come here. Take a look at this. This is a coach that I drove to Virginia. And this is what you normally see. A lot of wires, a lot of wires. Now this one he has an on-off switch here, but he's still got the isolator. He got this all wad here and things like this. And this is, you look at that and you say, well, I'm not sure what that is, but whatever, right? Well, over the years, you have engineers that get involved, and they love wires too. Here recently, here's one. Take a look at the side, the gauges. He put double aught cables to an amp shunt up to here. Isolator has double aught cables on it. I'm scared to look at what kind of alternator he has, but if he has a standard alternator, this is way, way, way too much overkill. It just really is. So if you have a wire wad like this, okay, let me suggest something. I've done several videos about wire wads, and we've got some new things that we are putting into our systems. This is a Simlak ACR 160. If you notice, the blue finned isolator is gone, right? Look at your battery boost solenoid is gone. Think of this as the battery boost solenoid. This is the right side and this is the left side. It doesn't use an isolator because this is a combiner. It gets rid of the isolator. The isolator would pull like 0.8 volts. You say, well, what's that? If you're charging at 13, if your alternator is putting out 13.8, that means you're only going to be 13 to the battery. So it'll never see 13.1 or a full charge. The isolator would pull that out. Putting in the combiner gets rid of that. So cleaning this up, this also has on-off switches for each battery. Living area, as you can see, this one comes out because to here, this is the engine battery. This one comes out and goes here. That's the living area battery. So both of his batteries are up front. There are switches on these batteries to shut them down. If you have a fire on board, chances are it's an electrically ignited fire. It's a class C fire or class B maybe class C fire, right? The best way to stop a class C fire is to shut the power off. Now you have a class A or class B fire and you can fight it. But a class C fire, electrically ignited fire, you've got to turn the power off. A lot of times they'll melt and it'll shut off that way. But you're lucky if that happens. You want to have on-off switches for all of your batteries. If you have a fire, you can run up front, flip up the hood, flip those switches, and run. Okay? But this is a critical thing. If you do not have a way that you can shut off your batteries quickly, you need to think about this. They have these, I call them Frankenstein switches, where it has a switch that bolts down to the top of the battery and you close it down, or that little knob, Those get corrosion. And if you have corrosion in that contact, it won't pull more current. So you're much better using one of these marine type sealed rotor switches. Okay. Now they make big ones and they make little ones. There's really no difference if you look at the specification on the switch. The contactor condition and the way they're made is what the current rating is, not the physical size of it. So when you get one of these, get something that's like 400 amp pass, something like that. This wire harness down here You say, well, you pick up and it works, I will be fine. All right, get it home and then dig into it. Now, if you're buying one of these coaches and if you're at a situation to get it home, I want you to disconnect the living area electrical system. What I want you to do, let me find it. Yeah, right here. Yes. What I want you to do is on your isolator here, follow the wire that goes to this side right here, right there, and disconnect that from the isolator. You say, why? Because you're in a log going downhill. You don't know what you've got. I had just Will this weekend picked up a coach. That's the one with the huge double aught wires. He has in the back, under the bed, batteries. Now, if you put a battery inside your coach, you need to vent it to the outside because the battery gas is off. But the previous owner really didn't think about that. He had 2 batteries in the back and they were dead as a doornail. Now, if they're hooked up to the alternator and you fire up that engine and you got 2 lunk batteries, you could take out the alternator, you could take out this isolator. So until you know what's going on, disconnect the living area electrical system and drive without it until you can get home and look at it, because you don't know what's in this pile and you need to sort that out. If you pick up a coach that an engineer has owned, expect to have a lot of wiring modifications. At the time, I'll guarantee you it was his best idea. You have 50 years of good intentions in these coaches. And it might be a good intention, it may not. But even a good one, even a good modification, you need to know what's there. You need to follow it. You need to be sure it's hooked up properly, because so many people don't think about safety. You need to look at all those modifications and see what they are and fix them. If it's a big mess and you got 2 or 3 colored wires and all this, you need to take all that stuff out. At Co-op, when we got a coach like that in, we didn't even see what it was. We took all the stuff out, threw it out, and then put everything back in if it was something they wanted properly. I know that's a lot of work, and you say, the thing's working, let's go have a beer. No, guys, you need to investigate your coach. You need to see what's in there. The guy had it before, was a smart guy, smarter than you were. Well, you just go with what he's got. But what happens when it fails? You're going to need to know what's there when it fails so you can fix it. Make sense? All right. Guys, I appreciate your time here. This has been something that I've spent so much time, so many videos on. I wanted to wrap it down to absolutely why do you want to do this? You want to do this to make your coach more reliable, safer, and upgrade it, because remember this, you've got a part and it has an envelope of life. In other words, age. Where are all those 50 million parts in your motorhome? Where are they in their envelope of life? You don't know, which means you could be driving along and it just fails. So mission critical systems, mission critical parts, wires, whatever, you need to look through that and to know what's there before you get on that thin limb, the road, because you don't know what you're going to have to deal with out there. I did a video about what tools and parts and things you need to carry with you as spares. Well, those spares will reduce the more you do stuff at home where you don't have to replace it. You don't need to bring those parts or those tools. And that should be your end goal. The coach should work for you, not you working for the coach. All right? When you run into something that you're concerned with and you don't know where it goes, give me a call. Let's figure it out. All right, guys. Thanks for the time. Hit like and share and all that stuff. Ranch hands, this will be in the database. We'll see you next time.